One day, Buddha and his disciples set out on a journey to another village to share his teachings. The group traveled through forests and hills, their hearts filled with peace. As they walked, the calm breeze and the sounds of nature accompanied them. It was a path they hadn't traveled before, but Buddha's presence brought a sense of comfort. The sun began to set, and the day grew darker. The disciples started whispering among themselves. "Are we on the right path?" one of them asked. "This forest seems unfamiliar." The disciples were growing concerned. They had been walking for hours, and the path seemed endless. One of them approached Buddha and said, "Master, we seem to have lost our way. This forest is strange to us, and there is no village in sight. Should we turn back?" Buddha, with his calm smile, simply nodded and said, "Let us rest here for the night. The path will reveal itself when the time is right." Though his words were simple, the disciples were surprised by Buddha's lack of concern. How could he remain so peaceful when they were clearly lost? As night fell, Buddha sat beneath a large tree, his eyes closed in deep meditation. The disciples, though restless, couldn't help but marvel at how calm their teacher was. His peaceful aura filled the air, and slowly, they too began to settle down, though their minds still held doubts. One of the younger disciples asked, "Master, aren't you worried that we are lost? What if we never find the village?" Buddha opened his eyes and replied gently, "The forest is vast, and the path is uncertain, but worry will not help us find our way. Sometimes, being lost is a part of the journey." Buddha's words puzzled the disciples. Being lost is a part of the journey, they thought. Sensing their confusion, Buddha continued, "In life, there are moments when we feel lost, when the path ahead is unclear, and doubt fills our hearts. But it is in these moments that we are truly tested. We must not lose our peace or our faith. When the time is right, the path will reveal itself." The disciples listened carefully, realizing that Buddha wasn't just talking about the forest. He was teaching them something much deeper about life. The night passed peacefully, and as the first light of dawn broke through the trees, the forest seemed less intimidating. The disciples woke up feeling more rested and calm. The path that seemed lost in the darkness was now visible in the morning light. Buddha stood, ready to continue the journey. He looked at his disciples and said, "See how the darkness made the forest seem frightening? But the light of a new day brings clarity." Similarly, when we face difficulties in life, we may feel lost in the darkness of our thoughts, but if we remain patient and peaceful, clarity will come. As they continued their journey, the village they were heading toward appeared in the distance. The disciples felt relieved and smiled at one another. They had been so worried the previous night, but now everything seemed clear. One disciple, reflecting on Buddha's words, said, "Master, I understand now. We may feel lost at times, but it is our inner peace that will guide us through any darkness." Buddha smiled and nodded, "Yes. Remember, being lost is not a problem. It is an opportunity to find yourself, to discover the strength within. Even when the path is uncertain, trust that it will become clear in time." As they approached the village, the disciples carried Buddha's teachings in their hearts. They had learned that even when the way seemed unclear, peace and patience were the keys to moving forward. Life, like the journey through the forest, could be filled with uncertainties, but it was in these moments that they could grow the most. Buddha turned to his disciples one last time and said, "In life, the path is not always visible, but if you remain calm, keep faith, and trust the journey, you will always find your way." The disciples smiled, understanding that the lesson wasn't about finding the village. It was about finding themselves. From that day on, they never feared being lost again, for they knew that within every challenge lay the seeds of growth and understanding. Sometimes in life, we all feel lost. The path ahead seems unclear, and doubt clouds our minds. But just as Buddha taught, peace and patience will guide us through any uncertainty. Trust that, in time, the way will always become clear. I hope this story encourages you to trust your journey, even when you feel lost. Stay calm, have faith, and remember that every step forward, no matter how uncertain, brings you closer to clarity and growth.